because I really don't give a shit. But so Rihanna earlier this year put out 3 singles. The one with Kanye West, Paul McCartney, and then another one called American Oxygen, and then of course Bitch Better Have My Money. So this was in the spring, and you know the typical run of an artist is they release a single, and the following month or within 3 months they release an album. Well, in this case, that is not the case. Originally, Rihanna was putting out her album, and she had released the first single for it, and she had done all these interviews saying that, you know, this album I created, you know, real music, and I wanted it to be timeless, but, you know, we don't really like Rihanna for that, so of course it didn't do as well as Rihanna typically does. So they kind of pumped the brakes a little bit and worked on the album a little bit more, and it was supposed to, she was supposed to get into a promotional campaign here in the next few weeks, performing a new single at the Victoria's Secret fashion show and doing interviews, magazines, that kind of thing. Well, now she's pulled out of the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and there are rumors that the record label is scared that if they release a single now, they'll be pit up against Adele, whose album is supposed to be released within the next 2 months, and will have to release an album around the same time hers is. So there's a lot of speculation. Is it true? Is it not? Why does the album keep getting pushed back? Fans are really upset because they've been promised this music for almost over a year now, and Rihanna's just saying it's just not done yet. And her father said in an interview with The Sun that she's not happy with the music, and clearly, you know, that's the case. Do you think an artist should be rushed like this, or do you think they should care about promotional things, or should it just be about the music? Do you care? What do you guys think?
I am an artist, and not that kind of artist, but I mean, I have fine arts degrees and things like that. And so I know about art, and so I know one thing is anytime I was doing anything within art, whether it's painting or whether it's creating music or whatever I was doing, you can't be rushed to do something like that and expect it to be a good job. To me personally, whether it's writing or whatever I'm doing, you have to, for me, I don't know, everybody's the same way. I don't have any discipline when it comes to that shit. I have to be in the mood, and inspiration has to strike me. And if I don't, I end up putting out shit. And so I think it's the same way with a female artist or a male artist who's a record or a singer. If they're put under pressure just to perform and just to create something that they're expected to create rather than what they actually feel passionate about, of course it's going to be shit. So I think it's wrong. Yeah. I think it's wrong. What about you, Jason?
I agree. I mean, if they want to, you know, take the time with the album and make sure it is a success, I would say go for it. But at the same time, with me, I'm not planning on buying the album, so I could really care less.
Who did we just talk about last week or a week or two ago who ditched the whole album? Oh, it was Gwen Stefani, right?
Yeah, Gwen Stefani scrapped her whole album.
Yeah. Because she felt it, so she was in a different place and wanted to do something different. So I admire that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just my thing on it. I don't plan on buying the album. I'm not a Rihanna fan like that. She has some cute songs, but I could really care less if the album even comes out, period. But my thing is, I mean, do what you need to do as an artist to make sure it gets done and make sure it's done right, so you won't go back with any regrets and that type of thing. But I will say I thought it was really funny that she had Paul McCartney on this song 4 or 5 seconds, and half of the people under the age 18 didn't even know who the hell he was.
No.
So
well, because she was trying to establish herself as a real artist. That's why the music, that song and American Oxygen, they're like real songs, you know what I mean? They're not like twerk music,
right?
But that's not what we like Rihanna for, you know what I mean? We don't like Rihanna because she can sing, because that's not why we like her.
That would piss me off.
We know you play little twerk songs. We like to see the stripper slide up and down the pole. That's what you're known for.
I'm sorry, but that's unfair. That is so unfair, y'all, to her. I'm sorry. You don't like her, whatever. And I don't really care about her one way or the other either. I'm completely apathetic about her. But if you're an artist, you should be able to create what the fuck you want and put that out. And if you don't fucking like it, fuck you. That's what I say.
Well, clearly that's not their mindset, because they won't release the damn music because it's not selling.
It's a business.
So clearly they're concerned about that.
I know they're concerned, but my point is to say that we don't know Rihanna for this. We don't know Rihanna for this. We want Rihanna to do what we like her to do. She's not a fucking like circus animal. She is an artist trying to create something and say something, whether it's something you agree with or not, whether you like it or not. So that's what I'm trying to say is, as an artist, for them to actually be slaves to the label or to marketing or whatever, to me, that would fucking piss me off, and I could never do that shit.
But also as an artist, when you're signed to a label, you kind of like at their mercy.
And that's why you do the 5-6 records or whatever you've signed to do, And when you've done that shit, you go on and on your own and do what you fucking want. That's the way you do it these days.
Look, I mean, come on, but that's what most people do. But we think Rihanna would do that. No, Rihanna's not going to go to an independent label or just become independent where she can just go and do her own thing. And
well, I'm not saying she would. I'm just saying that it makes more sense to me. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying it's kind of like paying your dues to do what the label wants, make the money, and do the poppy music or whatever, and then eventually you get to do what the fuck you want. So I'm just saying, eventually you get to a point in your career, and this isn't anyone's career, where you have to pay your dues, and then you get to do what you want, how you want to do it. And whether you want to suffer the consequences financially or not is up to you, but that's just my opinion.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
But the realistic thing is that the fans, aren't latching onto the music, and ultimately that's what's setting this album back out of fear of poor sales.
Right. Exactly. And I agree, and I see where Christian's coming from, because Rihanna has had this particular sound for so long. And now exactly. And now she's trying to change it up.
Yeah,
and trying to do
people are expecting something
real
from her
music.
Yeah, I understand.
And the fans just aren't. They're just not like, no, this is not what we know Rihanna for. So I mean, I would say at the same. One part of me is like, as an artist, do what you feel is right, because this is this is your name on it. This is your brand. But at the same, and if you expect lower record sales because you want to do your own thing, that's fine. Or just say, try to get as much money as possible, do all the promotion, and keep coming out with shit that you really don't want to do anymore, but the fans are going to like and make millions. So, it's like a 50-50
One of the things one of the professors told me in art school was that that art is 10 parts art or design or whatever, and 90 parts commerce. So it's the same way with records. I mean, it's a business. So you've got to kind of pander to people if you want to make sales. But for me, whenever I do something, I do it because I want to do it. I don't give a shit, but that's just me. Chipotle has got some kind of E. coli problem, you were saying?
E. coli! Which, isn't E. coli? I thought that was from like raw chicken or something.
Like from shit. No, that's salmonella. E. coli is probably from
so
cow poop or whatever. Cow poop.
Yeah, Chipotle has caught E. coli up on the Northwest Chicago, or not Chicago, Seattle, Portland front. They've closed down, I believe, like 43 stores, but only a handful of cases, 6 cases, have been found from their food containing E. coli within that region.
Now, this is only the Northwest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you Chipotle
does
fans?
this deter you guys from still going to Chipotle this week, or do you think it's just like I
like Chipotle. Kind of I really love their food, but I don't go that often. I go maybe 2 or 3 times a year. That's probably it. Yeah.
Well, you don't live in my neighborhood because this
there's one there's one right down the street, but
this Chipotle next to me stays packed, at least 15 people deep.
The one over by where you live?
Yeah, in Addison, Vitruvian Park.
Is there one in Vitruvian Park?
I just told everybody where I live.
I know. I was trying not to say that.
In Addison.
Oh, it's on Beltline. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, the one over there does. Yeah, the one over there is always busy. That's true. No, I'm not saying it's not good. It's delicious. I'm just saying I don't go that often. It's just not like a place. If they had drive-through, because I'm a fucking lazy ass, I probably would go more often. But they don't.
Yeah, I always think it's funny when people call Chipotle fast food, just because I don't think of it as that.
It really isn't fast food because it's really whole food.
I had a friend just eat Chipotle like the other day. It's not going to deter me from going. I'm still going to go because it's just an isolated incident.
Right.
Now, if it became like a nationwide thing, I would stop.
Sure.
But it's just mainly in the Northwest. It's not.
Well, you know why that is, because most of their food, it comes from locally sourced places now.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just up there probably. What about Texas drivers? Did you want to say, Jason?
They're assholes. That's all.
Okay.
So I was driving home because I'm trying to get home to do the show. Right?
Yes.
So I'm going down Highway 75. And, I'm in the far left lane where people tend to go a little bit faster. The speed limit is 70. I'm doing about 80. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, this bitch in this Honda Accord comes and gets over. Like, I'm already going a good rate of speed. She gets in front of me and then slows out, and then the bitch throws on brakes. Now, you see me coming. Why would you do that? And then she throwing brakes hard to the point where I almost rear-ended this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm thinking to myself, and then she go try to get back in the other lane, and then she does it extremely slow. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm going to put on my high beams. and I laid on that fucking horn for like 20 seconds. I was like, bitch, if you don't get the like, I was so furious with this woman. I was like, if you don't get the like, that was one moment where for a moment I was like, I'm willing to wreck my car just to prove a point. Like, I was like, you want to do this, bitch?
You already wrecked it.
Do what now?
You already wrecked it.
Well, it's fine. I'm only gonna have it for like another 2 days. Yeah, I'm already over it, so I'm giving me another car anyway.
That's so weird.
Jason, you got all the car drama.
That's so weird, though. You know why, Jason? Because it's a long time ago, but 1995, I was driving south on 75, it was only 4 lanes then, by the way, or 6 lanes anyway. And going to SMU where I was going to school, and I was going south, and it was at night, and this fucking cab driver was pulling and weaving in and out of traffic and everything else, and he almost hit me on the side, like almost sideswiped me. He was on a CB or something, and I was like, "Fucker!" And then he had his brights on and shit, and behind me at first. Then he pulls out and he gets beside me, and I give him a dirty look, and I try to speed up past him, and he speeds up in front of me. He gets in front of me, and he slams on his fucking brakes. trying to make me, hit him from behind. And I didn't hit him, but I got his fucking call this number if you don't like my driving or whatever. And I called that number. Of course, nothing ever happened, but but these people. No, but I'm just saying, I understand how you felt because I felt like I just wanted exactly. I know.
And then the fucked up part about it, she did a double take. So she saw me coming and she was about to get over, and then she changed her mind, and then she changed her mind again and got in front of me. So it's like, bitch, what you did was premeditated.
Exactly.
Like you thought this through before you got over.
I think everybody needs to have a go cam.
You have the nerve to slow down. I'm like, bitch, please. So to the bitch that cut me off on 75 in Stacy, I hope you chuck on the fucking bone tonight.
Oh, see, I've watched too many Lifetime movies. I don't be acting up in traffic because next thing I know, I'm murdered.
I know. It's true.
I don't. I acted up in traffic one time, got my ass a big gulp thrown at me, chased down the highway, and after that, I ain't ever acted up in traffic again.
I just want to choke on the bone. I don't want her to die, but if it happens, that may be convenient for me too.
Last thing, real quick, Abby Lee Miller files not guilty in bankruptcy fraud case.
Yeah, I actually was kind of surprised I hadn't heard about this. I'm assuming she filed bankruptcy, and they're saying that it's fraud because they found $700,000 hiding in a bank account. And from various TV appearances and gigs and things like that, and which she's saying that she had no clue this money was set aside. She has a financial team and blah, 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 blah. So they're going to trial for this. So this actually should be an interesting story to follow over the next few months as they go to trial and Abby Lee Miller fights to not go to jail for 30 years.
Wow. She's a fucking bitch anyways. I don't give a fuck if she goes to jail personally.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
These reality stars and their financial things, it's just
stupid.
It's so crazy. Like in 5 years, you could go from just being a normal person to fighting for your freedom over money,
Yeah, like exactly. Teresa Giudice or whatever.
Well, yeah, I think she's about to get out and her husband's about to go in.
She's going to get out in December and her husband goes in for 5 years or whatever.
Yeah. Do you think that they're going to... No, like 9 years because he has
9?
He has 2 different things that he has to go in for in the first 5. And then he lied. He said he was his twin brother at like the IRS office or something. And
I heard about that, but I thought it was only 5 years. They must have extended it or something.
They must have, yeah.
It's because there's 2 different things that he was being sued for. The first was the fraud, and then the second was because he was using his twin brother's driver's license.
He's just sounding gross anyway.
His license was suspended.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they're going to get a divorce whenever he goes in? Like what do you think?
She should be getting a divorce, but she's the kind of woman who's going to say, "I'm going to stand by my man." Bullshit.
So, because I think she's the type of woman. Second she gets out and she's, chasing the fame again, because she's always been fame hungry.
Oh yeah.
The second she gets the taste of that fame again, those lights turn on, and she's filling her oats, and the next thing she knows, all these rich men are trying to talk to her. Woo!
I don't think
she's that strong. I don't think she's strong enough.
Leave her husband.
She's not strong enough to do that, and she believes in family and all that bullshit. Which is good, but I'm just saying it's so important to her that she would stay. She stayed married to him when she knows, and we all know that this man has cheated on her over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it's even been caught on the show a couple times, not literally in the act, but I mean talking to girls and things like that. So I mean, she stayed with him through that. So why would she leave now? I mean, he stayed with her while she was in jail. Not that he had much of a choice.
because now she's been in jail and she knows that life is worth living.
Or she's a lesbian now, one or the other. Anyway.
One more thing before we go.
Yeah.
Housewives of Atlanta starts this Sunday.
Yes.
And they're bringing back Nene.
Yes, at the end of the season. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Nene definitely is good for the show. That's all I can say about that.